Good morning.
Good morning, Nadine. How are you this beautiful morning?
Oh, fabulous. It's a wonderful day. So let's see how we make this even more prosperous with you too can be prosperous
Yeah,
because you can.
absolutely. So,
Yeah. So today we speak about the law of cause and effect. And we just had an interesting conversation about how an external thing like a cut tire or so can affect, or like how does that reflect something that's going on inside. So then the question is, or the interesting thing is, take the questions that pop to your head, like how is this possible, how did I get the cut here, what was going wrong, like whatever the question is, take that and search your soul, search your heart, what would answer to this question? And there you go. There you have a solution.
look, it's not always easy to reflect back and um, and think about what's going on and look at it from an objective point of view. So when things do happen in your life, because it's never ever going to be smooth sailing all the way down the river, okay? It's going to be ups and down. There's going to be a storm. There's going to be a bump in the road, and we've got to step back from that and say, right, where do I feel it? Number one, because there's either going to be some form of emotion. I'm angry about it. I'm sad about it. It's upset me. Or, curiosity. Why? You can ask that question. Why is this happening for me? Right. And as you say, just step back from it and say, you know, let's learn the lesson from this. But you've really got to go into yourself and say, how can I learn this lesson? Because it's not always easy to evaluate things. It's always nice to point fingers, but what you got to remember is there's always going to be those three fingers pointing back at you,
Exactly.
And when something does happen, as hard as it is to swallow, you've asked for it. All right. So having
Yeah.
is evidence of what.
Actually, I really, when I heard this, someone telling me, "Yeah, you've asked for it," like, no, that it's not possible. But then when I just turn my thoughts around and say, "Okay, what can I do to get out of this situation? What can I do to heal this?" Then that gave me completely new thoughts, action steps I had to take, difficult decisions to make,
Mm.
and that's the path. I guess that's our calling to learn these lessons.
So true. So true. All right. So with that, let's kick off again. We're page 104. And I've got it at, but how do we know? Is that right, Nadine?
Yes.
Okay. But how do we know that prosperity and poverty are states of mind? So this is what we've been talking about. Okay. How do we know? Because every effect is exactly like its cause. If there was no poverty thoughts, there could be no poverty conditions. Cause and effect is just another way of saying thought and condition.
And that's exactly what we were talking about, right?
To have an outer condition, we must first have an inner concept. As a man thinketh in his heart, on the inside, so is he on the outside. Before a condition can materialize in the objective, it must first be thought and believed. That is the law. And that is why the poor man must tune out of his mind all the depressing and limiting thoughts that hold him in a state of depression. He must not only eliminate the troublesome thoughts and beliefs that are operating in his consciousness, but he must refuse lodging to any other thought that may oppose his good. So we need to really look at that when we have that bump in the road, to think about, where were my thoughts? But going forward, how I can always only visualize success. Don't think
Exactly.
the bumps in the road. Think about its success.
Exactly. So it's turning off where have my thoughts been to where do I want my thoughts to be.
Mm.
And the tricky thing is that the emotions always follow thought. So when you're in in not so healthy thoughts and have the corresponding not so good feeling emotions. So at those are the points where it's really difficult. Like, how shall I think positively about that? Right? That's not what I'm here for. Like, how can I turn this around? And that's the moment when you step back, take a breath, maybe take a walk in the woods, or just have a cup of coffee. Step back from the situation with the question, how could I think differently? What would make the difference if I looked at this from another perspective or angle?
So true. So is this subject getting tiresome and monotonous to you? Then put the book down and sit in silence for a few moments. Rest yourself and think of nothing in particular. We repeat ourselves often for the sake of emphasis. We want you to understand that your power to tune in to the good is in direct ratio to the power to tune out of the bad. So this is where he talks about meditation, taking that time, as you said, to go walk in the woods, just to reflect on all the things that have happened and your thoughts. So really take that time. Silence is golden. It really is. And to be able to step back from that chaos and just evaluate things. It works. It does work. In metaphysical science, this process is called denial. When you stop the thoughts of want from getting into the mind, this saying is fulfilled. Thou openest thy hand and fillest all things living with plenteousness. The denial, reversal of the thought of lack, comes first. You sweep out the low thoughts in order that the higher ones may take their place. Then you find that your life and environment are enriched and beautified in ways you never dreamt possible. When you overcome the sense of lack in all directions, everything will fall into its right place. Faith to meet fear, love to meet hate, substance to meet lack, understanding to meet ignorance, health to meet sickness, peace to meet discord, and power to solve every problem. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
How absolutely beautiful. Wow. How amazing. And so that's exactly what it is. Sweep out the low thoughts in order that the higher ones may take their place. So that's the work. It's like with the broom, so in your mind. And so often it's like, oh, we feel uncomfortably. Then we go to what soothes our mind. So go to the phone, watch a movie, check your email. And that's just done in milliseconds. And therefore, hold it, wait a moment, take that time. And just because we speak about this initial decision of even taking a moment to think about it, like, this is so fast, and this is where we have to catch ourselves when it starts with, hey, how am I even thinking about that? Why am I feeling like that? Yesterday I was getting annoyed about some call service person that didn't help, and I have that often, and I also have to ask myself, why do I get annoyed when the call service people keep me waiting and don't give me the service I expect? And then it was my thing to really, I went back, I went out, I went to the balcony, just had this fresh breeze and air to think about, like, what is triggering me. I mean, I guess they try to do their best, and not always they can do, like they say, oh, I can't help. So it's a very Swiss thing. Like in Israel, they would like say, hey, I'm checking how I can help. It's just a mindset thing. But it's my reaction to that makes the difference for me. And so I had to search my soul for that. And honestly, I haven't really got an answer. So I have to continue to do the work, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly this lesson. I'm going to take some time out this morning and just reflect on the things that have happened over the last week and just try and put it into perspective here, But really, it's about listening to your intuition, listening to that guidance system, and allowing the feelings to come into your body and feel where they feel, so that you can walk away from that having a better understanding of what's going on.
Absolutely. Wow, Jackie, thank you so much. This was a beautiful reading, and we'll be back next week with the next section in YouTube. It can be prosperous. Same time, same places.
Thank you very much for the lessons you've taught me today. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.